And good Friday morning. I'm Tara Thomas.
And I'm Amanda Goodman. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday for the group chat.
We made it. We made it to a full week of doing the group chat. We're so happy for those of you who are enjoying this broadcast. And look at how tech savvy we are. We've now added a logo.
We're very happy. You know, it's even better. We have nobody telling us in our ears.
Oh gosh, yes. No one's telling us to wrap or go to break so we can hear about, RVs. I mean, I feel like
no little man off on the side yelling at me for what I'm eating or
so is the screen did it compress the screen when I added the logo? Yeah, see how it compresses it. So let's just take the logo off for a moment so we can be full screen.
So you can do
it's still doing it in like a
it's fine, right?
Yeah.
No, I think it may be only on ours. So
that's right. You guys still might be seeing it as the full screen. We just don't, it's not bad to be compressed. We don't want to be widescreen.
No, it's kind of like when HD first came out. When HD television first came out, and we were on the news, and they brought in the new makeup girl to teach us how to do, and I remember I was sitting there because you would have to sit on the set when the new makeup would come in. It sounds ridiculous, right? But all the men would be in the field and the women were in the studio. And I was sitting on the desk, and you can't wear makeup. And then they turned on the lights and they put the HD camera right on me. And I saw myself au naturel in HD. And it was,
my gosh. Okay. So we already have a good morning from Amy. Good morning, Amy. Thanks for joining us. I remember when HD went live also on networks. And so because like she said, the mantra was less is more when it came to doing makeup. And thankfully for me, I've never really been a heavy foundation person. So
lucky for you.
So it wasn't like a huge transition. However,
some of us needed it.
I remember seeing Desperate Housewives for the first time. And I was like, whoa. I mean, you could see every layer of their skin, and it was like clear that they had been duping all of us because we thought everybody had this like smooth, perfect China doll skin. And when I saw that first episode, I remember thinking like they need to figure out the makeup because it look
at the special lighting that Barbara had, and
right,
Katie Couric,
the soft focus. Yeah,
Katie Couric is not, and I'm not saying this to knock anybody, but it's it was quite different. It's a lot of makeup. And I remember we started doing mineral makeup. They had us doing mineral. Yeah. And then it was not, it would not for me. I mean, so I wore this special makeup that I got out of Dallas, out of Amarillo.
So did I.
Out
of Amarillo. Okay, I got it from the lady from Dallas who was the consultant.
And I refuse to say the name because I'm not going to give them any plug. The same place where the dresses were overpriced. Yes. No, this was from a woman who used to be a pageant queen, and she trained all the pageant queens. And she passed away a couple of years ago from cancer, but she would still send me, and it was the best makeup. It would just go on flawlessly. But I talked too much about that. I'm sorry. Because now I wear Wet n Wild.
Yeah, I was going to say you found like a really inexpensive and effective brand. Okay. $3. Everybody knows Wet n Wild, right? That's like such an 80s brand. Two pageant tips that I have to share. That I learned not from myself. Okay. My friend Tammy, she is from California. Loved her. She used to be a friend and coworker. She was in pageants, so she was like Miss Teen California, and she told me these two like tricks, I guess, or techniques. One of which I use all the time. The first one that I don't use is they put Vaseline on their teeth right before the pageants, and then that would make their teeth shine. When they would smile, which I always thought was hilarious. And then the one that she taught me that I've used just infinite time and will continue. If you get deodorant or some kind of lotion or something on your fabric, if you rub the fabric with the same fabric over the top of it, it comes right off. And so that was like such a great pageant tip. And
I didn't know that was a pageant tip.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a
No, I mean, that's where I got
that from the streets.
That's where I learned it was from Miss Teen California. And so I had never known that before. So I always do that now. If I ever, put the deodorant on, you bump your clothes. If you're putting it on with clothes, and then you can rub the fabric, the same fabric against it will remove it. So that was a
it's very interesting. As I get older, I wear less makeup because first of all, I don't want to, but my skin has never been better. And so the other day I got this ultimate compliment. I was in Casey's, and a woman stopped me and she grabbed me. She said, "Are you Amanda?" And when people do that, and this is my response. Why? Like, it all depends on have I done something to anger you? But she was complimenting me, and she says, well, since you left the news, it looks like you look younger. And I'm like,
that's very kind.
I'm less stressed, right? I'm happier. But it's because, and I have to give my friend Liz over at Splendor a shout out, because she has, I think, does Sculptra over there. And I have talked about, remember when we were doing our show in Des Moines and the woman sitting in the front looked like she was in her 20s, and then she had a 20 something. And I remember looking at her, I'm like, you do sculpture, don't you? It's like and all it is like, it's like re-stimulating your own collagen, right? It's just like stuff that they, like all these injections they put in your face, and then it stimulates your own collagen. I'm giving you the layman's thing. So it's just you. And then you start.
Looks good.
Well, hey, thanks. But that's why I can wear a $3 Wet n Wild foundation now, because it's just, hey, if I had the money, I would do the Kris Jenner 100K.
Gosh, right? It looks amazing, even though it's a risk, right? Unless you had a $300,000 facelift opportunity, because there are other people, Meg Ryan, Bradley Cooper. I mean, they have access to funds and the best doctors too. And what a sad commentary on ruining your face.
I know. And it's, what's the one thing that I've seen, like, here, let me say this. I'm tired. I'm one of those people that I'm tired. Every day you have to hear about the Kardashians or Kris Jenner and stuff. And it was people that were commenting, because there was a lot of stories about her facelift. And you see the comments from, especially, it's all from women. Why don't you age gracefully? Aging gracefully is aging however you want to age. So if you want to use tweaks or you want to use whatever, you go. If you don't, okay. Like, it's just, everybody stay in their lane. Like, it's just, nobody needs the opinions. We don't need the commentary. Like, maybe aging gracefully, for me, is doing all the things. Maybe I want to be, maybe I want to be stuck up in,
literally with a needle. No.
And I don't like needles. Like, I don't like, but it was because my husband's always like, please don't do anything to your face, because he's worried that I'm going to be
same with mine. And I was going to say, one thing that Dave says that's hilarious is he'll say that when you go out with somebody, you need to do like a date where you swim, because then you'll really see what they look like, which I always thought was funny.
That's probably pretty.
And so I was grateful that he said, and was so insistent when we got married, he was like, do not wear a bunch of makeup, because I think you look so much better without it. And so it was nice that I had a very au naturel look on my wedding. And I too have never been to wear a lot of makeup at all.
Well, I think my husband would have been highly disappointed. I mean, if he thought that he was meeting who he saw when I was coming off the set that day and that news station at Amarillo, like, he knew, like, real quick, like, that was not, I mean, from the jump, it was established. I'm homeless. And it's not.
The one thing that we do have on sort of permanently is our lash extensions. And part of that came because we both had to glue on strips for years. I glued strips on for 10 straight years. And when you have those strips that you're pulling and sticking on and off every single day, your lashes start to almost stick straight out, which is kind of a weird outcome. And so I remember when Oprah Winfrey said that she was told by a makeup artist, you could never go on camera without fake lashes. And so because my eyes are deep set, the lashes do really help to open my eyes up. And when I started doing those lash extensions, the beauty of that, which now the downside is I'm like trying to sleep on the edge of my pillow, and then the water never falls in the shower straight on my eyes, which someone told me that the other day, like, how is that possible? And I'm like, oh, I forget, because I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
So when you're in the shower and you're that tall, the water always hits you here. So to my shorter friends, I'm sure your hair does get wet without a shower cap. But when you're tall, you just put it up in a clip and the water never touches you from here up. When you're in the shower. So it's kind of a nice.
Oh, is it nice? Is it nice? Yes, I'm drowning
in the shower. It's kind of a perk that I didn't realize was a thing.
I remember, I'm not going to say I'm the OG of eyelash extensions, but I remember when I moved here, I had eyelash extensions from North Carolina, and everybody had them.
It was still new here.
They didn't even have them. I had to leave. There was nowhere in this area that
you had to fly back.
No, well, I was driving to Cedar Rapids I was driving to Cedar Rapids. That's
isn't it weird? It's
Des Moines and Cedar Rapids had it first.
Even though North Carolina is the South, it's still on the coast. So it's true. It's to this day, sometimes trends make it to the Midwest later than the coast.
So, and I think eyelash extensions, and it sounds so vain, but it's like eyelash extensions are great because you don't have to wear the makeup then.
That's right. You really don't have to. And I haven't had to wear mascara for the 7 years I think that I've been getting them, and so that's always nice. And I don't even wear eyeshadow.
And I think
or eyeliner on the top.
I don't wear anything.
I do.
No, you don't. When you
I timed it. Ladies, if you're thinking you're wasting a lot of time doing makeup, time yourself from start to finish. It takes me 3 minutes. Oh, I timed it on my phone. Isn't that crazy?
It takes me less than my husband. Like, it's a joke in my house. It takes Hector longer to get ready because he does the gel in the hair, because he does the Andy Garcia slick back, right? But it takes him longer to get ready than me. I mean, and I've got this weave on. I mean, and it's just, I'm in, I'm out, and I throw a couple dots of Wet n Wild. I'm not even joking. It is called Photo Focus Wet n Wild. It's liquid, just foundation. I have it on right now.
Yeah, it looks very good.
It's $3. Like, it's $3. Like, why? It's better. And I don't like when these people are like, well, I spent $150. No, more expensive is not better. Why pay more? Why pay more? And that's what I think that's the beauty
especially
of
if it
older.
Works. Oh my gosh. Well, awesome. If you're waking up with us and you're in Iowa, it's very cold today. So it's like brutal. So my daughter she went back to college in Arizona Monday. So on Tuesday, I call her and I'm like, how's the weather? And she's like, it's really hot here. It's 77, So I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, I'm wearing a parka.
It's very cold. You were wearing
my office.
You had your 8 Mile coat on.
Yeah,
I
liked
it.
I
was like
that.
Was it the
well,
Nike?
I got, and it was such a good deal. Like
Missy Elliott.
Yes, I got that at Ross, and I get so many compliments on that, and it was such a random thing because I think what happens is 90% of women look at that and like the coat would touch the floor. No, so I was able.
Okay, with the short jokes this morning. But I think that people like, because you're the kind one, right? But I think when you had that on, I was like, okay, Tara, like Tara can fight today. I mean, if you see the coat, I mean, and then I have my mafia coat. Like I have my mafia.
And I have a coat. I got a coat kind of like that. That's short, but I mean, I love a good.
Is it? Would it be long on me? Is
it short on you? It's right there. It's hanging out.
Would it be? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that fur. See that fur?
This is very much a mafia wife closet. And I don't know if we can go over here to do you see we've got some, she likes her prints, her animal print. Oh, I see it. And like fur. Yeah, you would do very well in Jersey.
Anything fur or animal print. Oh, and by the way, I think we've talked about this. Animal prints and fur are totally making a comeback. If you saw Erin Andrews' fur coat, the two-tone during the Eagles game, I loved that. I love that. I love a good casino Sharon Stone vibe.
Oh yeah, it's that was a lot. That just was very that was, you would look good in that. Again, because you're tall.
No, I think you could rock that.
No, I rock some faux fur. I can rock some faux fur, but that for me was too much because I'm short.
No, which I never thought I think you would look good. Can you sit up or else lean back? Because I feel like we're too far away from
I'm trying to sit up. Like I'm
all right, let me sit back. Okay, but I need to be close enough to see the screen. So I want to give a shout out to Mari or Mary Gertis. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Dina, good morning to you. Jenny Birdnow, happy Friday. Great to talk with you, always, friend. And Danielle said, happy Friday, beauties. How sweet. Wishing you a wonderful and blessed weekend. Thank you. We needed that. It's been a week. I mean, it's been a good week, but also a very busy week for us. Melissa Byerly, good morning. And Christy Sue says gorgeous. And she says the roads are slick. Yeah, I bet. I haven't been out yet. And I wish it was hot here, says Melissa as well. I know. We have a tough time dealing with it. It has to be like North Pole. It has to be like the North Pole cold before I wear a coat, said Christy Sue. I'm the same way because I do wear, like you saw, I wear like the vest, but I do that intentionally because then when I go outside, my arms are still uncovered. So then when I walk into my cold office, it doesn't feel as cold if I don't have a big coat because I'm just, oh gosh. So yeah. So
I've gotten very cold. I got colder after I lost weight. I'm not saying like after this, but I did. I started getting cold. But I have to tell you this, and I bet other women will understand this. I had the hot flash of hot flashes last night. Like I was watching some cheesy movie on Netflix, and I'm laying there, and Aria was actually laying with me for a little, and all of a sudden it came over me.
Oh, wow.
Like, I mean, like, and I thought it came over me so fast, and I thought I was going to get sick. Like I was getting nauseous, and I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like rolling up everything, and I had to go and get a bag of peas out of the freezer and put it on my head. And then like my husband, he's like, and I'm just like, I'm watching him, he's walking around the house, and I'm like, what's it like to just live? You know, like these men. I mean, it was horrendous. And it's like, what? It is just not fair. Like I'm blessed to be, thank you God for making me a woman. Thank you God for, allowing me to have children. Like, thank you. However, I mean, it's like when the day you become a woman, it's like I told my daughter the day she became a woman, I'm like, that's a 60-year sentence. And she's like, a sentence? I was like, it's a sentence. It's awful. I don't know if anybody has tricks or whatever to fight through a hot flash or how long.
It happens when you least expect it. Your body starts changing, and then you're like, how did I get this old?
Well, and then nobody tells you how to fight through it. So I was like, literally, I was fighting through last night. Like I would fight through contractions. I was like, like just get me through. Like, what am I supposed to do? It's awful.
Which I can't.
Awful. Did you? If you say you haven't had a hot flash,
I can't relate to contractions.
Oh,
because my cervix never would have opened apparently. So I had 2 C-sections with no contractions. So
and you had no complications.
Thankfully, I know. She had her last pregnancy a C-section complications.
A lot of complications.
Awful. It was scary.
It was very scary. I had to wear a wound vac for 6 months.
Yeah, it was awful too, because you've had both areas impacted.
Yeah, I did. There was a lot of recovery.
When people asked if I were to do a VBAC, which for those of you who haven't had kids or don't know the lingo, it's vaginal birth after cesarean, and VBAC is like, we want to encourage you to try to have a vaginal birth after a C-section, because yes, C-sections, I'll take the C-section, please. Yeah. Thankfully, because one area was already, and so this is so cool. You know her, Dr. Wino, who was my OB. She assisted in the McCoy septuplets delivery, and she used to be an engineer, I think, at Rockwell Collins. She's retired now, and then she decided, like, I'm going to become an OB. Loved her. So she was out of Waterloo for years. And when I had Charlotte, when I was like, oh my gosh, 34 or 33, she's like, you healed so well, you could have 3 more babies if you want. And I was like, that's not, because my husband already had 2 older girls.
I am not, I was never that woman. Like, I have to do, I have to do this. Like, I was always like, get the baby out. So I had pushed with Aria I was in labor for a very, very long time with her. I pushed for a very long time. And then my friend who was my midwife, she was like tearing up. She's like, I'm so sorry that, you have to have a C-section. I was like, does that mean I get an extra day in the hospital? I'm good, because I love the food in the hospital is, well, when you have that second, third, and going on babies, you want those days in the hospital, because like you're being waited on. People are catering to every need. But it was a very scary situation, because after the fact, I had that C-section, and I kept going back to this doctor, and I kept saying, I said, something doesn't feel right, and she dismissed me, and she said, you're just not used to having a C-section. This is what it's like. I'm like, this can't be. And it's very sad, Sarah, because you know how memories pop up on Facebook. Those memories come, and I was asking people for questions. Has anybody ever felt like there's these sharp sensations? Very long story short, I was going in a septic shock, and I was literally hours away from a potentially fatal situation, because I wasn't listened to. That's another day we can talk about that. But so there it is. I wore a wound vac for 6 months, and then I remember when Ron and I were at a funeral. It was Rick's parents' funeral, his dad, and the wound vac. Do you remember it malfunctioned? So it's quiet in a church. I'm standing next to Ron and Tara. All of a sudden, you hear this, and Ron looks at me, and I'm like, "Just my wound. We're good. Just my wound. Just."
The one thing. Okay, we'll get to the comments in one moment. I love that you guys are interacting. Thank you. It is the group chat appropriately, so we appreciate that. The one thing I will say about the C-section, the second time, that was crazy because the first C-section, I did take Pitocin and they wanted me to try to go into labor, or is that what it is? Or no, try to, what is it called when you start, your cervix starts opening? What is that word?
Dilate.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We may need your help.
Also, the brain fog.
Words we can't think of.
The brain fog of.
So they wanted me to try to dilate, which I never did because again, I didn't know, but my cervix would have never opened. So I would have ultimately had emergency C-sections had I not already planned them. And just full disclosure, the reason that they told me I might have to have a C-section with Charlotte is because she was so big. They said I had a 10% chance of her fitting through my pelvis.
How big was she?
She was 9'2".
Okay.
So I know she wasn't as big as Lucci, but so I knew I was going to have big babies because I was a 10-pound baby. And when your birth weight supposedly can dictate how big your kid would be. And so were you a big baby?
Yeah, I was 9'1".
Yeah, we were both big. And then my son, so with Charlotte, I had the C-section, thankfully it went really well. So then then she did say, wait a year to get pregnant, which we were older parents. So we wanted to try to have a second if we could right away. So then I did wait a full year. And then when I got pregnant with Thomas, I knew that I was already going to have a C-section. And so it was so crazy because and he was tracking to be bigger than Charlotte. So they took him 2 weeks early.
Sure.
Because and he was 9 pounds too. So when I went in there for my C-section with Thomas, and it was great because like she said, in your head, you're like, okay, I'm going to have this, and you're not going to be knocked out. That's the thing that's unfortunately depicted a lot in movies. They make you feel like you're going to be so drugged up that you can't even hold your child. Not true. I held both my kids right after they were born.
Yeah, I did not. No.
So, but yours was more of an emergency.
Yeah, I was so heavily drugged that I didn't even see Arya.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I was like lying there, and Hector. I remember Hector saying, "Babe, she's here," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh wow. Okay.
It was awful.
Which is sad.
It was a horrible experience. It was an absolutely horrible experience. I'm angry about it to this day. Angry.
I bet.
I could say a lot more, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut because that boomerang will come back around.
Yeah, I both times was very much awake and talking and felt nothing. I was grateful for that. And so I got to hold Charlotte right away, held Thomas. But what's really funny, and I held them back, carried them back into the room. But what's really funny is when we were talking, and my mom was such a trooper, she videotaped everything and got to be in there for both. And when she was talking to me, and I'm literally like, oh, I'm feeling great, I'm excited, and then she pans over on the other side of the curtain and all my organs were out on the table. Yes. And I'm just lying there. And it took 12 minutes for them to get Thomas out. That's how fast it was.
Yeah, no.
So those
are the stories.
So great.
But see, that's the problem. Those are the stories that I had heard.
Right. So you had a much different depiction in your head.
I thought it was going to be this easy breezy thing, and then it was not. But I mean, yeah. So, but there we are.
But everybody's got the war stories and the miracles of it, because it is a bizarre concept to grow a human out of your body.
I used to get and I would get in these mood swings, and I would say to Hector, and he would come home from work, and it was like I had to one-up him because I was so tired in pregnancy. And so he would say like, oh, I'm so tired. I had like this meeting and this meeting. And I looked at him and I'm like, I made an ear today, sir. Like I made like a leg today, and he would look at me like, oh my God. I would always do that.
That's hilarious. All right, we're gonna go to the
thank
comments.
You for the comments.
This is so great that you guys are joining us and making the extra effort to throw something in the comments.
Tara's doing Missy Elliott up in the.
So so Melissa, our friend, said, was that the heat wave I felt? Clear over here, yes. Amanda. I feel you. It's rough sometimes. Jenny said, I can barely
see cooling sheet under your sheet. Put a cooling mat under your sheet.
That's really okay. All right.
And then I'm worried about that it's going to make me want to go to the bathroom.
Would you be too?
Would it make you go to the bath? Like, you know what I mean? Like if I put.
Yeah. No, I know. It's because then it'll pass, and then will you be cold? But
am I gonna wet the bed?
You can
because I get cold.
Danielle said was amazing. She was the best. We loved her. I have never dealt with hot. This is from Christy. Christy Sue. I have never dealt with hot flashes or any of the crazy menopause symptoms, praise God. That's great because
Melissa,
so many women
I'm so sorry. I'm reading Melissa's comment. The doctors messed up and my first child died and I almost died. I am so sorry, Melissa. That is awful.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Okay. Oh, she said the doctors messed up. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. That breaks my heart. We may have
had the same doctor.
That breaks my heart. And then Christy said, my last baby was almost 11 pounds. Thus the reason he was my last. Isn't that crazy? 11 pounds. I mean, and Aria was 10.
Aria. I mean,
Lucci
was 10.7 and Lucci is my spicy one. Lucci's in my face. She will roast me and anybody. She's actually hilarious. I mean, Lucci is the funniest person in my house, but she makes fun of me because I stop if I sneeze or if I cough because it, and she's like, why do you do that? I'm like, because of you, little girl. Like you are the reason that you know what I mean? Like I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to sit down and cross my legs before I sneeze.
So hello to our friend Rebecca Hackman. Great to see you. And Rebecca is the one who originally brought us to Lawler, and we are returning to the Starlight Ballroom in February. So I wanted to give a shout out to our friends in Lawler. Also, what a show we had in Traer. What a time we had. So much fun. Thank you to everyone who came out. And thank you to the wonderful ladies who gifted us with those custom unapologetically unhinged shirts. And if you're watching, somebody tagged that lady who gifted us those shirts under our post because some people said they wanted one. So you could reach out to her directly on Facebook because we're not sure if she's open to, selling them to others. So anyway, Traer was this week, which everything's a blur. I almost said last week. And that was Chuck and everybody at the Memorial Building were great. And then this upcoming week, I can't believe that this is finally happening. We have been waiting to go to PDC, Prairie du Chien, for really during the entire tour. That's been kind of a bucket list town because we talk about
it. And, and there are some towns, the craziness is the amount of people who show up. And sometimes shows out of the viewing area. And I say that the viewing area, people who knew us from television are a little small, but this is what's surprising us. It's like record number of tickets have been sold. There's only a handful left in Prairie du Chien, which is just insane to me, but it's also reminding me that women want to hear an empowering, inspiring message. That's what I feel too. I feel like it's real. I posted a picture late last night. There was a woman, because it's not lost on me, no matter whether it's at a show or if it's, through Faith in 4 Letter Words or Amanda Goodman Facebook or in Casey's. It's not lost on me that women come up to me and share their battle story, because every woman has been through
they know you can relate.
Well, and they know that I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to give them some kind of, BS advice on just take the high road. It's, when someone's telling you their battle story, stop trying to fix it for them and just being like, that is awful. It's unacceptable. Well, like, let's go. Where's my torch? Like, I'm ready to burn it down. So that's just, I just wanted to thank women for trusting me. I mean, it means a lot to me.
Yes, it positions you uniquely to have somebody feel comfortable being vulnerable to somebody they're not well acquainted with, but then they feel that they have a connection with you. And that we never take that for granted because that was the gift of television. We did forge this kind of weird relationship with people that we had never met in person. So that was an honor for us when it transcended TV news and became more about our personal engagement with people, since we share so much of our blood, sweat, and tears. And really, we've always been the type of people, though, that wear our heart on our sleeves. So we're never hiding the messy. And I think that's what makes it more relatable to people, is they know that we don't have our lives all together at all.
What did I say to you on the way home from Traer the other night? And I said, I think what's different is that anything that you're saying about me or Tara or anything that you think about us is not, we've thought of those things about ourselves. We've said those things about ourselves. I mean, people who used to attack me for my weight or my appearance. Yeah, I felt those things too. And not only are you thinking it, guess what? It was being told to me by my bosses.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of what makes us flawed, or what our insecurities, that's what connects us all.
Oh, absolutely. And when we think of all the things that people see on social media, we too, admittedly, always, try to put our best face forward, so to speak. And so it's been great for us to have this connection with people that goes so far beyond the shallow level social media feed, because that is, as we know, just one little slice of someone's life.
Well, my favorite thing is, and this is the difference with me, and
when you see someone in person and they look nothing like
or when you see someone, the person that was really big and bad on social media, and saying, remember I called you. So the other day I called Tara and I'm like, the universe is wonderful. I just had my moment. And she's like, what's happening? And I'm like, do you remember that woman that was just typing at? And she's like, I can't wait to see you in person.
You've run into her twice. That's what's, and once at her job and then once at Sam's.
And Sam's. And I was just, I just do this because she said that when she sees me, and I said, I hope you're, I said, I encourage you when you see me in person to say all these things. Oh, I will. I can't wait. And so I saw her. And so I literally did this. It was kind of like almost, it was a mix between the Cheshire Cat and Hannibal Lecter.
Like the cutaway in Young and the Restless when you just saw your arch nemesis.
It was. I just went like this.
You turned
I just turned my head like when Hannibal Lecter, when Clarice comes around the corner and he's just standing there in the south. Like just,
oh my gosh. And wait, this second time when she was at work, how did that go down?
Just kept her back to me.
Oh yeah.
Kept her back to me. And I was just,
you were a customer.
Well, then I got concerned because where I was like, if my order gets messed up, I could die. You know what I mean? So I was a little bit, but so, cause if you don't like, that is completely fine. Everybody has, but hate me with your chest out.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, hate me with your chest out.
But we all have been around and have even ourselves been guilty of that. I mean, whenever you are so fired up, you're so big, bad, and bold when you're behind your keyboard or when you're talking amongst your friends, then you see the person in person and it's like you clam up, you freeze up.
I do not freeze up.
Right. But I'm saying most people are all talk and they're no action.
And right. And it's like for me,
because they don't like confrontation. They only like to dish you behind your back.
And so for me, it's like I get nervous because I see red, and that's my flaw. That's my flaw. Like I see red and I just can't, and I'm like, and it's like building. But again, if I'm very well, I know, like if I react, and people will say things like, there's people like, you don't understand what she said to me. Listen, I will own whatever I say because I am not an idiot. I know anytime I use my phone, my computer, anything,
can and will be screenshotted against you.
Right. So like, you know what I mean? If
I've lived and learned with
like,
that.
You know what I mean? Like this is my message. If you think that if I said something to you, give me the microphone. I'll say it again. You don't have to screenshot me.
Yeah.
Like give me the microphone, turn up that speaker because I'm going to say it again.
We have to acknowledge that it's already, I can't believe that the hour is halfway gone. We just run our mouths from near and far. Okay, 7:32 on this Friday. We have to give a special shout out to Middle River Cabinetry. It is an incredible company out of Winterset, Iowa. Oh. I love Bridges of Madison County, one of my all-time favorite movies. And it just so happens that our first sponsor that we have to acknowledge is Middle River Cabinetry.
Their beam work. So I'm a sucker for beams. I have a beam in my house because it was kind of like my grandmother's house had these beautiful beams, but I want more beams. And now I know where I'm going to get.
So great.
There is something about beams in a home that makes it very cozy, very warm.
Yeah.
And they knocked it out of the park. I mean, they are just. And
we wanted to thank Middle River Cabinetry for believing in two women and women empowerment and women who like to run their mouths, all of the above. It's a customer first mentality. And as you described, it's this high quality, full custom with varying price ranges. So they'll work with you. So you can go to their website if you would love to check it out. MiddleRiverCabinetry.com out of Winterset, Iowa. When Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood starred in that Bridges of Madison County movie, I was quite young, but I have watched it a couple times in my life. And it's up there with The Notebook, I think, of like top 5 all-time great sort of love stories.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great movie.
I have never seen it. I'm ashamed to say it.
Well, you're a little bit younger than me, 4 years younger.
It's fine. No, but the other thing is about this company, I want to say, I appreciate any business that throws its support behind women.
Yes.
Behind women who are committed to being authentic and unapologetic and not being watered down or being a version. Like, I am so passionate. Like, to me, it means everything to me, because it's
it can be rare. It can be rare.
It is rare, because I've seen business owners in the conversation. I've heard about the conversations that they've had about people like me behind the scenes, and then they, and being a nonprofit director and having to fundraise, and people didn't want to support the nonprofit because I was too mouthy, because
you didn't act like a lady should.
So for me, I am when these businesses and these towns and all of these places get behind us and our business, that is like
means so much. We don't take that for granted.
Humbling.
Back to the false representations on social media. This is a hilarious story. There was a guy, he was a teacher and really elevated to some leadership roles in the district that I used to work in. He no longer is local. He's moved on to another part of the country. But the classic is his photo. How people put their profile picture on like their Google accounts.
Yes.
So his photo, when I tell you, he was airbrushed and had done, like the filter thing. The lady I worked with who was going out to do an interview with him or shoot him, we'd call it, where you film or take an image of somebody, she literally walked past the guy because
she didn't know who he was.
In person, he looked like completely different from this photo. And I always laugh because once that happens, then now, of course, it's sad. But then we would pull that up and then we'd say, have you seen? And then they'd be like, oh my gosh.
Is it okay? Is it insecurity?
It was like a glamour shot. It was like a glamour shot. I mean, but that's how much it was like done up. It was so dramatic. And so it was hilarious because
I use a filter.
So then I started thinking about the AI thing for that, same thing. I mean, you guys have seen this. There's all these people that you may not even realize they use AI to create their headshot for their LinkedIn profile or for their Facebook photo. And the thing about that is that I've always said is like to her point, because we want to show up with our authentic selves unfiltered, it extends to imagery. I cannot bring myself to put an AI photo of me as one of my official photos on anything, because I know that when the people finally, maybe fortunately, will see us in person, come to our show or just meet us, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she looks nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only does it smooth out your skin, but it enhances your features to make you look younger. So it like streamlines your jawline. I mean, when you've seen these people. And I laugh though, because some of these AI photos, one person that I can think of in particular locally who has a very like high profile job, it's like they're in an office building in NYC, like overlooking the Empire State Building. And I'm like, we know you live in Waterloo, Iowa. You live in Waterloo, Iowa. So I love Waterloo. So I'm all for the landmarks, but it's not going to be a 50-foot floor skyscraper that you're standing.
Yeah.
I'll show you who I'm talking about. All right, we have to.
Oh, I thought you were pulling it up. She was like,
no. I'm not going to do that. Let's go back to the comments. Okay, so Brooke. Oh, I feel your pain, Amanda, going through it at 38. Wow. So Brooke's young to be going through it. And then Jenny, who's closer to our age. Well, we are in menopause and had babies. Aren't we all wearing diapers or getting up to go to the bathroom 17 times a night anyway? No bedwetting. And Christy said, love you ladies. Can't wait to see you again. Thank you. And then Melissa said, wearing diapers.
I get so lazy. I will be very warm and cozy in my bed. And then I have that, it's like, I have to get up to go to the bathroom. And I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh, God. Because then, if you don't get up, then if you don't,
then you're not going to sleep well.
There's going to be more complications. But we do have a little treat for you this morning. So there is, have you heard about the 2016 challenge? There's, it's the 2016 challenge 10 years ago.
It's a big TikTok trend.
It's a big TikTok thing on social media. What were you doing 10 years ago? Tara, do you want to show yours? I think she's going to have it come up.
Yeah. So I actually jumped on the trend, as the kids say. And
you are always on the trend, though. That's very good. Okay.
And I did.
Let me move over there.
I added this. This is me in 2016.
Wearing your faux fur.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay. You're right. Look at that. So here's the side part. Yeah, I definitely. This was full disclosure. This was after I got my hair highlighted and blown out. So of course it looks better than when
you gotta take that selfie, that car
so
selfie.
Yeah, that's right. So here's what I have to mention about that. If you look around my eyes, you can definitely see a little bit of the crow's feet coming in. So this was before I ever had Botox, and now I'm my Botox it's sparingly. I don't get a lot of Botox at all, but I mean, I do get some because now
she doesn't have to.
Because now you can see.
You don't even need to.
You can see. No, I dropped my phone yet. You can see. Look at so now I haven't had Botox in probably 4 months, but when I do get it, I just get a little here, a little here, and a little here. So when I looked at that picture, I was like, you can see that the Botox does make a difference because I have kind of the wrinkles around my eyes.
I mean, I've been getting Botox. I've been getting shot up since I was like 34, not by choice. I've been told.
And now,
that drum roll. What was she doing?
Amanda Goodman in 2016.
Oh, okay. So there's a reason I chose this picture. This is election night.
You may recognize that gentleman on the left.
Yes.
Or our left.
V. Ron Steele. So listen, I chose this picture. That is election night 2016. If you've been to our shows, I'm not going to get into it now because if you don't know, you need to come to our shows. So 2016 was a big professional high for me. I had a lot of good things happening in that year. The day after this picture was taken, it was basically where Faith in 4-letter words. I knew Faith in 4-letter words was formed that day. I just didn't know it was formed that day. And that's what I look like. That's the dress.
You look so good. Size 7.
That's a size 7 dress. That's the dress. And you can see I have hips because I'm a woman. I have hips, and I just gave birth to Lucci not too far before that, and she was the size of a Buick. So, but yeah, that picture. And if I could go back and hug that girl,
because it conjures up a lot of emotions, and that's all. I mean, and we all do this, right? I remember one time I saw this is so bad because you go down this rabbit hole of memory, and you're like, there is a woman that all of you know. She's an older famous actress, and she was on a children's show when she was young, and she was really popular. So I think it wasn't Sally Field, but it was somebody from her era. Okay. So when she was on Oprah, she said something that always stuck with me. She said that every time people show her clips of all of, her body of work, her clips from the most popular TV shows or films, it immediately took her back to what was going on in her personal life at the time. And she had been through abuse and all these other, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is us. Because when we see a clip of us or a story that we did, you immediately will recall what was going on in your personal life at that time. And so one of my friends, he was a news anchor, and he was a morning anchor going through a divorce. And he said it was so hard for him because his soon-to-be ex would see him on TV, and he was so jovial and smiley. And she took that personally, like, you're not even phased, you're not even sad. And he said, this is my job. Well, this is my job.
People don't understand. And I look at that picture going back. I look at that picture, and you don't have to throw it up though, but
for people
I look at that picture, and it's so funny because in that moment, that woman in that picture is like,
proud of herself.
She just did 18 months of coverage. There were no prompters on. She's so smart. And the next day she will get knocked down so far
that you want to leave the business. You had no idea that was going to deflate your 20-year career.
That was it. And it was like
crazy.
Yeah. None of that, what I was doing in that moment, none of it mattered. None of it mattered because all that mattered was how I looked in that dress. And I didn't look good enough in that dress. It's very sad.
Sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's very sad. It's like, but we were so conditioned to accept that at the time, you were even probably your default was probably apologetic. Like, I'm sorry, I wore that dress.
So I'm sorry. That's what. You can take that down. Like, that's making me actually sad now. But here's the thing. That's and we need to talk about it more on the show because I don't talk about it. So after. Again, if you haven't been to the show, you have to be to the show to hear the whole story because it's a tease. It's a full thing. I can't get into it here. It's too few minutes. But the day after it all happened, another boss had come in, and kind of said
doubled down.
And at first I thought it was going to be an apology. that was really terrible what he said. And I'm like, oh my God, here it comes, the apology. And it was like 20 years worth of apologies that I was waiting, hinged on one person. And instead he said, but you got to admit, that wasn't the best choice to wear. And I went like this. I go, no, you're right. You're right. It wasn't. I will never wear it again. I will never wear it again.
That is sick because because we were trained. We were like drinking the Kool-Aid too. I mean,
we were petrified.
You become so cult-like in your responses where every cutting comment and every disrespectful, really personal attack becomes like, well, you're right. That's just part of the business. I just have to take it. And I'm sorry to say this, but men would not be able to take it. And they don't have to take it like in that business. I mean, because they are never talked about for their appearance, period.
They
not at all.
And some of them should be.
Oh, yes.
Some of them should be. If you want me to like get like, you know what I'm saying? Really, because I mean, I was being nitpicked for every little thing, and men could
because this is what we know, and you guys know this if you've ever worked in toxic environments. If they can't come after you for your quality of work, they're going to go after you for your appearance. So that's where the tide turns, because they couldn't say she sucked as a journalist.
No.
She had done an effective, very professional job during the course of those 18 months leading up to election night. So the only thing that will rattle her or us as women is, well, let's call him fat, or let's say that outfit wasn't flattering. Now, in other environments, that wouldn't fly because they could go to HR. In our world, you didn't go to HR or else you'd be blackballed, because unfortunately HR was often an extension of the management.
I for me in my life, this is what I knew. Like, I was not on the puppet strings. I was not easy to be controlled, right? Like, I bit back. I did. I would bite back. So I think people knew, like, we know how to, we're gonna poke the bear, and then the bear reacts. I'm a bear. Like, I'm going to react. And then it's like, so once you react, they got you the problem, then they can get rid of you. And that's the thing. And I remember you bring up, when they can't attack you for something. I was in our dressing room after the remodel, and a young anchor and reporter had come in, beautiful young woman, so sweet, like genuinely sweet. And she was crying. And I said, what's wrong? And she's like, well, she said, he was telling me, and she was talking about the news director. He was telling me that, my delivery is not good enough. And I just kind of put my makeup down, and I'm like, well, be thankful that he's criticizing you on your delivery. Yes. I would kill for someone to criticize me on my delivery or my journalistic ability, but it never happened later on in my career. That didn't happen because I was skilled. I was good. They came at me for my appearance, and it was my weight. Like, you're going to eat that? Are you sure? You sure you're going to eat it?
I came back after my second child, and before I had children, I was still doing the morning news. And I actually had a situation where a general manager said to me something like, well, you're not as fat as she is, about another anchor. Yeah. Something like that. And I remember being like, that is not a compliment, sir. It's a backhanded way of saying, well, you guys aren't as skinny as we'd like, but at least you're not as fat as that other. I mean, it's crazy. Trying to pit us against one another. And you know what's sad? This guy being a manager, I actually liked him. I mean, in comparison. So, I mean, it's like, which brand of crazy are you going to embrace? Our friend Monique from En Francais, very good morning to you. So nice to see you on this snowy day. Great to see you, our friend, mon ami.
And Amy from Dubuque. Good morning I love Dubuque.
We love Dubuque.
In Dubuque on Wednesday.
And Melissa said, my daughter wore adult diapers for a while after she gave birth. I'm sure many women do and have. I mean, because like you said, it's not something that you can resolve in a day. And there's only so many Kegel exercises one could do.
It's been 10 years and I'm still, you know what I mean? Like, this is the cross I bear.
So if you're just joining us on this fine freezing Friday, it is now 7:49. We only have 10 minutes left.
Can I do it? Like, here, ready? I'll go back into
this voice. Go to your broadcast voice.
It's Friday. What is it? It's Friday, January 16th. It is 33 degrees out right now. Tonight, we're expecting a temperature of 8 degrees. There is a chance of snow until 12 o'clock today.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I hate it. The news. I think we should just all day
Just be in our news voice.
Like I was trying to do that with I'm going to record them. Like, because the one day I came out, Ari was eating cereal and I was like, good morning. Are you eating your Cocoa Pebbles this morning? And that was almond milk. And she was looking at me because she doesn't know that I was on TV. Like I showed her.
She came after.
I showed her. Oh yeah. She came after.
I love it.
And I showed her a picture of me and she was like, that's what you did. And then Nico and Gia come in and be like, yeah, we never saw her. So they're not over it.
Oh, I know. It's, we were fortunate we got out when we did.
Speaking of Gia, I have to tell you, and I can't announce where, but Gia, my oldest, she got into her top choice. Now,
I'm so happy.
I had my top choice for her, and I think she was going along with it for a long, long time. But this has been her top choice for 2 years.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I had that moment. I wrote about it on my AG page because it was that there was this weird, proud, this sense of pride that I've always been proud of her, but this was a different kind of, because it was her first adult decision. Like this literally is the first decision that I have not been involved in at all. The only thing I did was we paid the application fee.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. I'm so happy for her.
And
she's going to be great.
And thank you. And she's brave and it's not close by and, I'm excited. So, but she'll announce it now because they do the bed reveal.
Yes.
So
I have fun.
Yes, I have my cart full of all the things I need to buy.
Oh,
for the college bed reveal.
Yeah, get your check. The biggest part of the next step, if you're a parent who's helping pay, is get your checkbook out and ready. You will be going back and back and back many times.
Oh, I remember.
Oh my gosh, it's just okay. So we are going to add a Q&A section in these remaining 10 minutes, much like we do at the end of our shows. I was so excited to use that stinger to put that little banner up. Isn't that a great word?
Drop
stinger is when we
put the bug up.
Yeah, when we put logos up. So if you have any final questions for these remaining 10 minutes, we'd love to hear it. And do you have a 4-letter word of the day?
Oh.
What's your 4-letter word?
Let me look. I haven't found. Oh, hope. That's what I wanted to end with. The 4-letter word of the day is hope. Because no matter what we're going through, I am encouraging everyone out there to give somebody just hope. Be a listening ear. Be somebody who cares. Step in, walk in when everybody else walks out in someone's life. Be that person for somebody. Just a conversation will give somebody else so much hope because you don't know what people are going through.
Yeah, great reminder. And today's verse, it's actually, which this is, for me, this is like my daily go-to. I always go to YouVersion and read the verse of the day. And so bonus now that 3 days a week, at least, I can share some of them with you. And today's is from Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. And I love that because if anybody is going through health challenges or tough times, just remember that the Lord is rejoicing over you, even in your despair.
That's nice.
He will not forsake you. He will never leave you, and you are never alone. So for those of you living alone or going through a breakup or dealing with the loss of somebody so close to you, just know that the God that we serve, Jesus, our Lord and Savior, is not only ever present, but you can have commune with him at any point in your life and your day, and you can turn to him when you feel sometimes, at your darkest, loneliest place.
Yes, that is beautiful. And we have Bonnie. Do you think all stations are like that or just that one that Tara and I used to work? And I'm going to say every single station. In our experience, I can't say now because we don't work there, so we have to use our experience. In my experience, the stations that I worked all across the country, I was treated the exact same way. But by the male managers. I mean, the OG, my very first boss was amazing. My mentor.
Yeah, during the course of our news careers, I had probably 13 different news directors. There were definitely highs and lows among that group, but the management over the news directors also messed with us. So like a general manager, and then like she said, the layers of company management.
The consultants who
made their mission and money off of correcting you and telling you all the things that you were doing wrong. They had to come up with something to justify their presence.
Now I had one really, really good consultant. It was a woman, and she helped develop me in from a young, snotty reporter into a mature anchor. And ironically, isn't this hilarious? Like the company was out of she was from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Isn't that weird? And I worked with her. Julie, hello. And I worked with her when I was in Texas. And so then I moved to Iowa and then I see her. She was at a couple of our shows, and it's just talk about full circle moment. But there were many other consultants that I think that they wanted to get into the business. These men, I think in their lives, in my opinion, I think they were mistreated by women or they couldn't get.
They never got the girls.
They never got the girls.
Is their way to check the girl.
And it sounds silly when you say it out loud. But it's the truth.
Let's be real. Women watching you, if you could all raise your hands, you would. There are so many men over the years on the job where they have no control at home because their wife is wearing the pants, but they want to put you in place at work. And I had to say one time to somebody, like, I'm not your wife, so don't tell me what to do. You know, I mean, it's weird because it's like this extension of their demasculated universe when they come around us. And then it's like, we're not the ones that are going to be, you know, checked.
I think I did the Sheree, like the Sheree comment from Atlanta. She was like, "Who's going to check me, boo?" Like,
Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's the quote. We loved that line.
Who's going to check me, boo? And like, it was just kind of, but we lived in, it sounds so silly, but we worked in fear for a really, really long time. And it was just, for me, I was, I would apologize at the dumb. Like, what were you thinking with the hair? I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know.
You look like one of them for me was like, some days you come in and you just look so put together. And other days it's like you just rolled out of bed. And I said, honestly, it's because I can turn my wrist, 2 centimeters to blow dry my hair and it will come out differently. I didn't have a wig.
Right.
So, I mean, my hair looked different every day. Yeah. Right. And so that's, but hats off to people that had to or did wear wigs. I wish I would have done a wig because then my bob would have looked it would have looked like this every single day. I would have had like this.
Look at you. Look how much older you look.
I would have been funny. It would have been, yeah.
That is the haircut. There was the haircut we all.
Happy Friday. I'm Tara. And Mark is coming up next with our forecast. Oh Lord, we're sick of hearing the forecast, Mark. Shut up. We don't want to hear that.
Take your snow squall.
We don't want to hear that all of your weekend plans are ruined because I'm so excited to tell you that it will be below zero, freezing wind chill.
Funny story about that, real quick. Funny story. So if you watch that television station and where the female and the male anchor stand, and that was because of me.
Yeah,
right.
They switched
it up because we did this cross shot. So the camera would be over here and it would take me and it would take Ron and then it would take Mark in the weather lab. So it was looking this way.
The weather center.
I'm so sorry.
The weather lab. That was probably in North Carolina.
That was probably in North Carolina. So they switched it because the news director at the time, who's no longer there, said, I can't believe after 40 years we have to move Ron from his spot. But Ron, like Amanda's fat A.
Oh yeah, that's how sick they were. I mean,
and everyone was like, okay, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah. So those are the things that were said, and then, but and here's the thing, they never assumed that we would pull back the curtain.
Oh no, because we were supposed to just fade to
when
black
we
walked off the set. They wiped us off the website, and we were no more. And so then it was like, they're back.
And we're
here.
Here's Jenny.
We're exactly. Poltergeist. We're like coming out of the pool.
Somebody. So I want to end with this because people say that there have been people from my past that said, if that's her truth. There is no such thing as my truth. There is the truth. You can have an experience. There's no such thing that when people say, well, this is my truth. No, there's only one truth. And that was it. And I had our news career. We had both a beautiful yet traumatic experience. It was both. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was a blessing, but it was also left me with wounds.
Oh, absolutely. Which wounds that thankfully we can process through conversations with all of you. It's been a cathartic process. Amy said, I'm sad. Mm-hmm. The male coworkers sat in silence. And that's what we've always said is tough because many people say they have your back. excuse me, until they have to open their mouth and exercise that truth. So just know that those individuals do feel a level of regret.
And
some of them
do. And here's the thing, like if someone doesn't stand up for you because they're too worried about what other people think, right? You remove their seat from your table and just thank God that he just exposed that.
Yeah,
that God just showed you who your people really are.
That's such a good point, and this is what we'll end on this Friday. For those of you that are feeling a certain kind of way because you're on social media and you see like these girls' trips and these huge groups of people and everybody's laughing and having so much fun, and then you have this hollowness of like, well, I don't have all of these girlfriends and I don't have this huge friend group. Just know that for us and at our age, and you will evolve to this place, it is quality over quantity.
They probably don't like each other either.
And they're probably only, really aligned, unfortunately, not in all cases, but in some cases, off of shallow level relationships. So Amen. Be grateful when you have the depth with your, friends, and we only have one life, and there's only so much time to devote to our relationships. So the time that we do have to commit to growing our relationships, pour it into worthwhile people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. That was great advice to end with. And we hope you have an amazing Friday. Be careful. There's a snow squall.
We'll see you Monday on a holiday for Dr. King's birthday. We will be live at 7. Excited to see you then. Have a great, great day.